We're going to start our portrait workshop. I'm going to twist the image in order to show you in the correct position. This is we're going to start tracing the guidelines. First, we're going to start with an oval. Remember, always the shape of faces is not a circle, it's an oval. Now we're going to trace these guidelines. They're not just in the center, they're going a little bit up and a little bit down, if you see, and these lines are going to help us to trace where the nose goes, the ears, and the eyes there. So first I'm going to make these little traces. They are very simple and very fast. I'm not going to take a lot of time. This portrait is going to be kind of interesting. So here we have the mouth. It's like kind of the shape of an eagle, and here we have the nose, and we're going to start doing all this part of the beard of the character. Now it's going to be it's not going to be perfect. I want to say it before you think about it, because it's not going to be perfect. Now we're going to trace the eyes. The eyes are circular. Now I'm going to give you here a close-up of how to make the eyes. First we have with the iris, then the pupil, and how it goes like a little bright there up there. Now you trace these lines around the darker circle, and you put this part over here. You make these lines that make the shading, the eyelashes, and the little shading in the down. It's very quickly, but it's the way we're going to build our eyes. I'm going to make the same here, but there is a little bit difference because the model we have here, it's his eyes are darker, so they are not going to be as clear as the one in the example. It has the little wrinkle over the eye, is in the eyelid. Now here we have the other side in the other eye, and we're going to start making that there with the eyelashes and following the same process that I showed you first. Here is I have to retouch some parts. Here I'm just making the structure of the drawing. Now because of the camera it seems kind of funny. It's like a Martian, it's like Megamind. But I'm going to have another picture of it. Now we go back again. Now what we're going to try is to put the lines that are going to help us to build the face. And these parts here in the mouth. Remember, mouth is always darker than the rest of the skin. We have is going to be like a kid with beard because the eyes are too big. And here is I'm tracing just the parts of the beard there, and always under the eyes we have some wrinkles. Even childs have these wrinkles here. Some in adults they are more pronunciated, but here are different. Here is the neck, the hat it has, the hat the character has, and that is like the tracing of that. Now we're going to make it with a charcoal. With the charcoal I'm going to enhance some parts of the shading in the character. So under the eyes, and I have to use my finger to put there, but it's better to use a clothing. And as I told you, the eyes in this character are darker, so I'm going to trace some lines that are going to give you the contrast of the light. And I'm going to use this darker, this is a charcoal bar, and it's going to give me a darker color and a darker zone in the whole picture, and it's smoother than the charcoal pencil. So if you don't have these materials, doesn't matter, you can use crayons, you can use other materials, or just the pen you have is fine. Yeah, what I'm going to do is to trace some parts of the shading in the character. There is a light part in the shade and there is a dark part in the other side. So what I'm going to do is to try to give to put more material over the darker parts and to put a few material or no material in the lighter part. So the white part is going to be the light part is going to be given by the paper, and I'm going to make some spots softer using the clothing. And here I'm going to put this shading behind in order to give the contrast of the hat. And we have here this part. Now I'm going to work in the neck, and these lines are going to help me to give the appropriate contrast of the shading in the character. We're going to start tracing these parts, maybe with the finger, with a cloth. I'm going to put there, I'm going to enhance these parts of the hat and the darker parts. Something I think is that we can make our drawings expressive too. They don't have to be perfect, but I can make some lines in a very expressive way in order to get them. I'm going to make this eraser, use this eraser to give some light parts and finish some details in the drawing. So I'm using my finger and trying to give in the volume of some parts that are important in the drawing, giving the final details that help me to make an interesting drawing there. So I'm going to make these parts. These things are going to help me to give a contrast in the drawing and a little bit background there. So I hope you enjoyed this drawing, and you try to make it. The first and the most important part is to try and start practicing and practicing. Something I like of this portrait is the expressiveness of line and the way all the spots and the stains make it more expressive. Maybe it's not hyper realistic, but it has a lot of expression in his eyes and in his lines.